and go live on my phone and see if any of you have any questions that you'd like me to look at, because I'm kind of drawing a blank. I know tomorrow and the next day should be a lot more eventful in terms of things to look at, but I thought I'd come on and ask if there are any questions. So I'll just wait and see who shows up. Hi, Shauna Michelle. Thank you for joining me here. It's a little lonely. Hi, Sunny. So I'm just answering not personal questions. If there are any questions that you'd like me to look at that have to do with politics, culture, national, international, etc., then let me know. If you are here, which looks like you are here, that's great. It's about almost 4:30 now, and I can stay for a while if there are questions. Hi, 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 and hi is not a question, so please ask me questions. Oh, good, so Shauna Michelle, I'm glad you're learning Lettermont with the book and the course. Hope you're enjoying it. I know, Mimi, I just, I thought at the last minute, why not do this? I'm actually celebrating something today. I am a grandmother for the first time. My grandson, Milo, was born this morning. And so I thought, well, let me do something a little different in his honor. I'll answer some questions. So yes, thank you. What will happen to the 600 children they tried to deport last night? So let me look, and I'm gonna, I'm by myself, so I'm gonna be scrolling back to find questions. So what about the children? What will happen with those children? You can't really watch me do this because my phone is attached to the ring light and I can't push it up and down, but by now you should trust me. So I'm going to just flip the cards until I get to the child card, and that will stand for those 600 children. What will be their fate? These are kids who are between the ages of 10 and 16 who have crossed the border alone. And so now here they are. So I'm just going to look and see what I get. And okay, so this doesn't look too bad. We have the moon, we have you-know-who, we have the child card that stands for the children, the anchor, and the garden. I think that public outcry will require that they stay here, at least for the time being, until there's some more legal proceedings, but I don't think they'll be spirited away in the dark of night or anything like that. I think they will stay here protected until there's another court decision. Okay, so I'm hoping I can scroll down. Yes, good. Okay, so far this is working pretty well. What do you make of the mysterious bags tossed out of the White House windows? I mean, is that weird or what? I don't know if you all saw, but there were plastic trash bags thrown out of the White House windows. What are you doing? Like, what's that about? So let's just pull 5 cards. I'm gonna let Spirit pick all the cards. Again, you can't watch me as I pull because of the angle, and this is on my phone. But let's see what we get. What was up with those plastic bags? Okay, I got definitely papers. And then the rest of the cards are the woman, the bear, the bouquet, and the house. The fact that the letter mirrors the house, I think these are important papers that they want to get rid of. Why they throw them out the window, I don't know. I thought they had burn bags or whatever. Now, I mean, this is kind of interesting. I really don't know, but I do know that he has something to do with it. So this is not some random person throwing stuff out the window. This has to do with 47. For all we know, he was the one throwing them out. But it's definitely papers. I don't know if we'll ever find that out. Just crazy. Is he dead yet? Somebody asked. He's not dead, no. And I don't see him being dead for a little while. I mean, I think it could happen in October or November, is what I think. But he is still alive. Now, that begs the question, he may be alive, but is he, like, you know, alert, awake, aware? Because there's just too many little weird circumstances going on. So let's look at him and just see how he's doing right now. I'll pull, well, I'll use the older man for him and just see what we get. All right, so I'm looking to see, I know he's alive, but is he, you know, is he conscious? Is he okay? I mean, he's not okay, but you know what I mean. All right, let's see. Oh, he's deep in the deck. Okay. Okay, you know what? This is very weird. I'm going to re-pull because the impression that I get is that he may have had like a TIA or a stroke. Even his what do you call it, Truth Social posts don't look normal. They don't look, well, his don't look normal. These look normal. Okay, so let's look again, and we're going to see, we're looking for him. Something is up for sure. All right, we're looking for him. Sorry, it's taking so long, but I just, okay, very strange. So I get the anchor, the child, here he is, the garden, and the cross. So I think he is, I feel like he's had some sort of episode, whether it's a TIA, like a kind of a mini stroke, because here he is in the middle, and then we have the garden and the cross, and I think they don't want the public to know about whatever it is that's going on with him. But there's definitely something going on. I think that Stephen Miller and Russell Vogt from the budget office are running the show right now. Something's wrong with him. He is not his normal awful self. I mean, he's still awful, but he's awful in a different way. Something's definitely wrong. He's not dead yet, though. He's not dead yet. Okay, let's see. Okay. Okay, so I looked at the children. I looked at what was dumped out the window. What will the orange one? Oh, yes. So there is a meeting between Modi of India, Putin of Russia, and Xi of China. And we know that 47, if he were in his right mind, would not be thrilled about this meeting. I'm going to pull 5 cards, I won't even use a focus card because that'll save us time. But my immediate sense is that he's not necessarily even aware that they're meeting. This is what I'm saying. I think something's wrong with him. I'll just pull 3 and see what I get. Well, we have the snake, we have the young man, and we have the moon. So if he is compos mentis, right, and he is aware, he doesn't like it that the 3 of them are talking. He feels that it's like a bullying move, that they're not including him. This is the card for his reputation and how he feels about himself, how he wants others to feel about him. So he would not be happy to not be included. That's what I think. Thank you for all the congratulations on my grandson. You know, it's so weird to think of myself as a grandma, but I'm thrilled. I am thrilled. Okay. Where are the Tate brothers? I don't know who the Tate brothers are. So you got to help me with that. Are we going to face another depression? Well, I'll tell you what, and I've read on this many times. This tariff thing is not good. You know, even if everything was reversed tomorrow, we would still be feeling the effects. You should already be feeling the effects in the grocery stores as you shop for back to school clothes. I mean, it's already difficult. We know that the courts have declared the tariffs are illegal. I think I read on this the other day because his philosophy on that is, so what? But will we face a depression? Let me just look at that. And I'll just pull 3 cards. Will we be facing a depression? So we have the anchor, we have the birds, and we have the mountain. I mean, you know, if this is sort of commerce and industry moving forward and nations talking to each other and everything flowing swimmingly, that's not going to happen because the birds are stuck between the anchor and the mountain. So I'm not going to say depression, but absolutely recession. I mean, and again, you already know that just from being a consumer. He's ruining the world economy. Okay. I just read that Netflix co-founder Reed Hastings has given $2 million to help California redraw its House maps. Will this start a breakaway from 47? Oh, what a good question. In corporate America. This is an excellent question. All right. Yes. So will Reed Hastings, co-founder of Netflix, will his move to help California redraw their maps, will that make others in corporate America say, oh, maybe we don't have to play follow the leader and kiss the ring? So let's look and see what kind of effect that will have. I'm going to let Spirit pick everything because it's faster. Spirit's laughing, saying, yeah, I am faster. Okay, let's see. Let's pull 5 on that. That's a good question. Will corporate America see that they have another way to go? Okay, so we have the letter, we have the child, we have the scythe, the mountain, and the tree. So here's what I think. You know, this is a new and novel approach. You know, if we think about this as being like the map, right, of California, this is this new thing, this corporate guy saying, I'm going to put money in to help California redraw the map. That's the new thing. And then in the center, we have the scythe. And I like this. I think, yes, I think other corporate heads may say to themselves, oh, wait, we could make a different decision. However, them doing that will be really slow. It's not going to happen tomorrow. They will want to say, let's wait and see how this works. How will, for example, Netflix be punished if this guy does this? Because we don't want to be punished. But if this works, I think that, yes, others will make the decision to cut themselves off from the American version of George III. Okay. Will Chad Bianco be the Republican pick for governor of California? Let's see. Let's look for Chad Bianco. I don't know how old he is, but we'll still use the older man card because you got to have some gravitas if you're going to run for governor, right? And let's see how he will do in whether he'll be picked by the Republicans as their candidate for California governor. So I am gonna look for him. This is gonna stand for Chad Bianco. And I'm putting 2 cards to the left, 2 cards to the right. And we have Clover, Stork, Here's Chad Bianco, Scythe for the Decision, and Dog. Yeah, I think he's got friends in high places who will help him win that nomination. I think he will probably be the candidate for governor for the Republicans in California. Thank you. Thank you for all the congratulations. Okay, somebody's just asked, and who is this? Carol505. Carol, I mean, okay, I hate to say this. The question is, what is the future of gun control in the United States? Not good. But let me pull on it, and then I will say my piece, so to speak. Okay, gun control in the US. 1, 2, just 3 cards. 3. Yeah. Scales. Now the scales is great. That's justice, right? Justice should tell us it's not great to have guns so freely available, obviously, right? But look, coffin. And then whip. So here's what I think. In order for things to transform, because this is how I am choosing to interpret the coffin. I could say, well, it's a coffin, dead in the water, don't even ask the question. But I'm not doing that. I'm saying that in order for something to become something new, it has to stop being the thing that it was, right? So in order for our relationship with guns to transform, some things would have to happen. And the problem is this third card, which is the card for arguments, contention, back and forth arguing. You know what? I'll tell you what. I went for a mammogram, pardon the TMI, but women, you all need to go get your mammograms. Anyway, I went for a mammogram Saturday. And out of the blue, we weren't even talking about anything. The person, the technician, said, guns don't kill people. It's all these crazy psychotropic drugs that people are taking. I didn't say anything. I just let her run her mouth. She said, my brothers used to ride to go to high school with their shotguns in the back of the truck. And I thought, and what state was that in, pray tell? But I didn't say anything. And she insisted that guns don't kill people, people do. Well, here's the problem with the United States, and the world thinks that we're crazy because we kind of are. Problem is that as prescient and as wise and as just full of foresight and vision as the founding fathers were, on this one, they missed the boat. And you know what? No shade. It's understandable why. Back in the 1700s, there was no standing army. There was no police force or anything. So people had to defend themselves with what kind of guns? Muskets, which took you 10 minutes to load for each time you shot the thing. They could not have foreseen automatic weapons, pistols, all those, whatever kind of gun, I don't even know about guns, but whatever guns we have. But there's this Second Amendment. And so people who are these originalists, they call themselves, say, well, it's the Second Amendment. The founders wanted us to have guns. But that's not anybody who reads the Constitution as an originalist is being really too clever by half. I mean, they are really cynical people. Obviously, the Constitution is meant to be a living, breathing document. And when you have guns available on every street corner and churches and schools and everything else are shot up, pretty sure it's a problem. But you have to pry their dead cold hands, speaking of the coffin, off their guns. I don't see gun control happening in my lifetime. I hope in Milo, my new grandson's lifetime, yes, but not in my lifetime. People are too wedded to that Second Amendment. They all know it's bogus, but it's in the Constitution, so there you go. It's awful. The Epstein file is bigger. I don't know what STR means. Bigger, what's STR? The Epstein file. Now, we all know there's no actual paper file, but there are phones and there's electronic records. There's absolutely lists of people. And I'll tell you, you know what? I just read the book on Andrew. There's a new book out, an expose on Andrew, Prince Andrew. If you read that, you will see how deep this Epstein thing goes. I don't know that we'll ever get to the very bottom of it because there are people involved. I mean, I think it would just upend everything. I think it would upend, for example, the British monarchy, the ties that Epstein had to them, to Russia, to the Saudis. This goes way, 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 way deeper than people actually realize. But stay tuned. Wednesday, I think, yeah, Wednesday, 7:30 my time, and I'm in the West Coast, but 7:30, I think 7:30, there's a press conference of a bunch of Epstein accusers who will also be speaking to Congress, deposed in front of Congress. So that should be interesting. But yes, I think the Epstein thing goes a lot broader, wider, deeper than any of us realize. Will the orange one slam Xi over the meeting tonight? Well, I mean, if he's in a position to slam anyone, one of his proxies may slam Xi. So let's see. I'll pull 3 cards. Will 47 say something rude? We'll just call it that to Xi about the meeting with Modi and Putin. So yes, this is the card for that. This is ugly words, arguments, that kind of thing, crossroads, and then scythe. So it looks like it will be a crossroads that this administration faces now. And any hope of friendship, alliance, or whatever between us and China, it looks like it's cut. And he's already destroying the relationship between us and India, saying that India has no right to buy whatever they're buying from Russia. Pretty sure that a nation state can do whatever they want. They can buy from whomever they want. So yes, I mean, this meeting will not help. It helps them. It helps those 3 superpowers, but it will. I mean, it's just as you would expect it to be. What would a Vance presidency look like? Well, remember that Vance is owned by, allegedly, entertainment purposes only, Peter Thiel. And Peter Thiel is an oligarch who thinks that people are essentially expendable. He's a very bad guy. And Russell Vogt, who is a Project 2025 guy. So what they are the puppeteers for Vance. So what would a Vance presidency look like? I'll just pull 5 cards to see what we get. A Vance presidency. Because we will see one, albeit I suspect it will be short-lived, but okay. So I have the card for 47, followed by the bear. In the center is the whip, the garden, and then we have the ring at the end. So I think I will say that in terms of policy, they would want it to be a continuation of 47. Well, of course they want it to be a continuation of 47 because they're the ones who have put all 47's policies on paper and into practice. So that's what that presidency would look like. It would look like more of the same without 47 as the figurehead. But I think that people would find him to be unpleasant, bullying, awkward, because this is what the people would feel about him. This is the people. And again, he doesn't have the charisma that 47 has. I mean, I don't think he has charisma, but his followers think he does. Vance doesn't have this. He's just going to look like a cocky bully. And then in the center, we've got this whip. So there will be a lot of contention. So, for example, I think that, hold on, let me look. So I pulled clarifiers on the whip, and I got the fox, the house, and the mice. I mean, I think there would be a lot of contention, and I think that the intention would be nefarious. Again, Thiel, Musk, vote, they have, their intentions are not good towards government. They want to erode democracy. If this is the White House, let it stand for democracy. They want to erode it. So that's what it would look like. It would be, but it would not last long. It would last, if 47 leaves us today, another reason aside from Milo's birth to crack the champagne, we would get Vance. And we would have Vance until the election in 2028. But it would, I don't think it would be as damaging as it would be with 47 still alive and kicking. Okay. Will Governor Pritzker run for president in 2028? I would be shocked if he did not, but let's look. Will Pritzker run for president in 2028? He's going to have to arm wrestle Newsom for it, right? Oops, 1, 2, 3, 4. I needed one more. Okay, this is Pritzker in 2028. Yeah, definitely. So we have the letter, the stork, the scale, the star, and this would stand for Pritzker. So I think that this is votes. I think that he thinks he would do well because he's been standing up against 47. Scales, I think he would be seen as certainly fair, honorable about laws and about justice and having things get back on an even keel. This is the card for the future. I think he has a bright future. I can mirror the second card with the fourth card. So this is the star. I think he has a very bright future. And here he is at the end of the line with votes. So I think he will run, yes. I think it's way too early to say who would win in 28, except that I do think it will be a Democrat. But I think that, there'll be a primary. There'll be a convention. So, but yes, Pritzker will be in the mix. Absolutely. Will 45 be impeached by Article 20? Well, I've looked at this. Article 25. The question is he or will he become so incapacitated that he's removed? This is not exactly impeached. Impeachment is something different. Well, let's just call it removed with the 25th Amendment. Will 47 be removed with the 25th Amendment? I looked at this the other day and saw that it could actually happen. But we'll just, energy is mutable, so things change. I mean, I do think there are plans afoot for something like that. So we have the letter, the scythe, the ring, the whip, but then we have the book at the end. So this is the paperwork, 25th Amendment. Remember that Vance would have to propose it, the entire cabinet would have to agree to it, and then it would go to a Senate vote. And I think right now, they're not sure whether they would get the votes. So right in this moment, no. Even though he could be, for all we know, in a coma, drooling in the corner. We don't know. But right now, they're not sure. But that said, I do think that they are absolutely discussing it, arguing about it. I think that that cabinet is cutthroat. Everybody wants power, right? Everybody wants influence. Nobody wants to make a move that will, in the end, harm them. So there's a lot of arguing back and forth about it. And in the center, we have this ring. Now, the ring is the card for, among other things, loyalty. Loyalty. And people don't want to seem disloyal to 47 unless he proves himself to be so incapacitated, like unconscious incapacitated, that they can get away with it and be considered patriots. But we're not there yet. We're not there yet. But there is a lot of conversation about the 25th Amendment. Yes. And you know that Vance is just salivating. He can't wait. He would love it. Okay. Melania. Okay. Somebody was, this is Susie Beck hypothesizing that Melania was throwing out letters from Trump. I'm going to say, I mean, the woman was in the cards, right? I don't think Melania's there at the White House. I think she's in New York or Saint-Tropez or somewhere else, but she's not at the White House throwing stuff out the window. I don't think so. No. Oh, okay. Oh, well, yes. This is the twin brothers found deceased in Bell Mountain in Georgia. I think that I remember reading. No, you know what? There was a police deputy arrested, but I think it was because he took pictures of their bodies. And I mean, you're not supposed to do that. But let's look. I'm going to see what happened to those twins. I don't know if you know, but these are twins in Georgia. Young men, handsome young men, with great lives ahead of them. Twins that ended up dead in a place that they had no business being in. It was kind of a deserted area. There's a lot of, I've heard a lot of things about people hanging from trees, people being found hanged. And you don't hear so much about it, but, sundown town and all of that. Let's see if I can find out what happened to those twins, because it's a shame. I have the older man, I have the woman, the tower, the fox, and the book. I'm going to tell you, what comes to my mind is the olden days, which probably never actually went away, where there were certain places that if you were Black, you didn't go, and that there were certain people like the sheriff or the fire department chief who that's their role by day, but by night they played a different role that involved wearing a white hood, if you get my drift. And it's very interesting that this tower card is in the middle, because this is like an official something or other. So I think that there are people in high places in that area, I'm going to say police, who know what happened. And, this energy is giving me very much the energy of Emmett Till. Emmett Till. Now, Emmett Till was the little boy, 14-year-old boy, yanked out of his bed, kidnapped, and then hanged. And, anyway, it's something that haunted anybody of my generation and earlier. It happened, I think it was before I was born, but in the late 50s. And his mother had his casket open. She said, I want people to see what they did to him. And I've seen that picture, and it's just harrowing. I think these stand for white men. I think this stands for a white woman, and it feels very much like an Emmett Till situation, whether these boys were in Emmett Till's case, he was accused of whistling at a white woman. Come to find out, that white woman later confessed that that didn't happen. She made it up. But I think it was something like that, because here we have the fox. I don't like this card. And here's the dishonest woman saying, you know, they whistled at me, or they touched me, or they whatever. She lied on these boys, I think. And then at the end, it's the book. So their deaths have been covered up by these white men. It's really giving me Emmett Till vibes. I would say that I hope I'm wrong, but meanwhile, whether I'm wrong or whether I'm right, they died. They were killed. And they went into this place alive and they ended up dead. Something happened. I think it was some kind of Emmett Till type situation. Okay, let's see. You all are funny. Okay. Questions, ask me questions. Yeah, no, he's not posting. We've seen, I mean, there are posts, but the grammar is correct. The spelling is correct. There's no capitalization and crazy punctuation all over the place. So I don't know. It could be Weekend at Bernie's for all we know. But we don't know. Is there a body double they're parading around? Nobody's getting close to see him, just a thought. The body double thing. There's a lot of people on YouTube that are saying that in the meeting in Alaska that Putin, the guy that he met with, Putin, was not really Putin, but a body double. No, I think it was Putin, but anyway. Let's see. Is there a body double who's being trotted out like Trump, but really it's not Trump? Okay, let's just see. 3 cards should tell me. We have the bear, the stork, and the whip. No, I think it's him. But I mean, he looks terrible. I mean, couldn't they do, if it was a body double, this is so bad. If it was a body double, couldn't they find somebody like a little more healthy looking? Like whoever that is that we've been seeing looks rode hard and put up wet. I mean, I think it's who we're seeing is him. It's not a body double. But we're also seeing old pictures. That's the thing. Are we seeing new pictures of him? I'm not sure. There was a recent picture, I think it was today. He's at the golf club, and there's a guy standing next to him, a friend, but I mean, so close to him that it made me wonder if the guy was propping him up. So that was the one weird part. They're both going thumbs up in that stupid thumbs up thing that they do, but if you look at the smile on 47, it looked weird. It didn't look like him. It is him, but I just don't think he's right in the head. I think he could have had a TIA. I think he could be confused and like being kind of propped up. That's what I think. I think he's being propped up as long as they can prop him up. And when they can't prop him up anymore, either they'll get the body double out or they'll 25th Amendment him or whatever. For now, it's definitely strange. And they're showing us old pictures, but look for that picture today of him in the golf club. Why is that man standing the guy is right, like on top of him, like very close to him. I think the guy's propping him up, and the smile didn't look like a smile. It looked like he was gritting his teeth. I don't know. Yeah. Oh, How is Carolyn Levitt going to handle her press room tomorrow? You know, for a young woman, she's got a lot of nerve, I think. But anyway, Carolyn Levitt. Yes, let's see how, well, maybe she'll cancel it. Let's see. Okay, how will she handle? I'm just going to pull 5 cards. How will Caroline Levitt handle the press briefing tomorrow, assuming that she has one. Okay, stonewalling. You know, this is my story and I'm sticking to it. I'm stonewalling. And then in the center, we have the scythe. So the conference may be cut short, or else she'll be short-tempered with the media. And then we have the garden, and then we have the tower. I think they will try to keep it as everything's fine, nothing to see here. You saw the pictures. He's fine. He's doing great. I just think it'll be the same old thing. I think she will try to stonewall. She'll fake it till she makes it. I'm not saying that she'll make it either. I think she'll just stonewall. Will 47 get a chance to pardon himself or pardon anyone else before he leaves the earth? You know, something that I have wondered about is, instead of 25th Amendmenting him, could they say to him, listen, we'll offer you a deal. Here's the deal. You leave, and in return, and you know, because he doesn't do anything for free. In return, here's a bag of money, and you will be pardoned for any federal charges that you may face for any of your misdeeds in office. I'm wondering about that, whether they would make him that offer. Will he get a chance to pardon himself or pardon anyone else is what Emma Vasquez is asking me. So will he get a chance to pardon himself or anyone else? You know, and I think there's so many MAGA people that the idea of Vance pardoning him would not surprise me as part of a package to get him to go, like a severance package. So will he be pardoned or pardon himself? Let's just see. You know, of course, he doesn't think he's done anything wrong, is the thing. I have the book, I have the birds, the ship, the star, and then the woman. The fact that the line starts with the book, I feel that there are secrets, and I think this is Maxwell. Because there are things that he's done financially and in terms of business, so that even though, we already know he's a sexual assaulter, he's an adjudicated all but rapist, there's things that we don't know that have to do with this Maxwell case. I think that's what this is about. And there may very well be meetings, about how this could be handled in the future should he, this is the center card, should he leave. So yeah, but I don't know that they're going to be able to, he's such a serial criminal. Even if he were pardoned for federal charges, that has nothing to do with state charges. The state can still bring charges against him. But I do think that that is one of the things that they're looking at. Can we offer him some kind of package to leave? The package would include, immunity from federal prosecution and money. That's what I think. He only bashed Modi. Okay, he didn't bash Xi. He's afraid of Xi then, probably. He should be afraid of Modi. I mean, India is a big country, so he doesn't need to be bashing anybody. Okay, let's see. Thank you for all the congratulations. Let's see. I'm going to take a few more. I understand you don't compare your readings to other readers. I find it fascinating that Sybil Harmony saw Donald Trump having a stroke. Well, I mean, people are going to see what they're going to see. I think we have all, to a woman and a man, those of us who do this work professionally, seen his health taking a nosedive in the fall. All of us. There's none of us who have not seen that. Whether it's a stroke or whether it's a heart attack, it does feel like something circulatory, which means it could be either a heart attack or a stroke. I think it's one or the other. So I think we are all of one accord about that. Will the blue states, this is Barbara mediate, or mediate, I don't know. Anyway, will we do a soft secession from the red states? Well, I mean, we're kind of already doing it, right? With this redrawing of maps. I mean, that's kind of a line in the sand. Yes, I mean, I think yes. I think there will be a soft secession from the red states. And I've said that before. What about Trump's health? Will he go into seclusion? It's pretty bad. Well, he's kind of already in seclusion, right? I mean, that's the point. We don't know where he is. I have, how many grandkids do I have? I have 2 step granddaughters, but this is my first grandson from my daughter. So I am just beside myself. I'm very excited. No, we're asking political questions, not personal ones. Brady's just came in to not be alone, having sadness. Well, we're all going through whatever we're going through, right? So that's why I thought it might be fun for me to come on and talk to you in real time. Oh, Eloise, this is a good question. Will Russia spill the dirt on Trump? And will Trump allow Russia to drill minerals from Alaska? Well, I think that part of what everyone was so shaken up about, everyone being his people, is that I do think that Putin at least made noises indicating that he would spill dirt. He has dirt to spill. He has dirt to spill, courtesy of, among others, Epstein. He definitely has dirt to spill. Will he spill it? Will Putin out Trump? And I think, yes, I do think that Trump will allow them to get some of the minerals. I think that he'll do anything to avoid having the dirt be spilled. So we have the young man, the ship, the garden, the whip, and the anchor. So yeah, the answer is yes, Putin will. This is this guy. I mean, I love all my people cards, but they play different roles, like each Lenormand card, right? Depending on the question, they have to go really quick backstage and change their costume. So this guy here, this is somebody who look at his chin, look at his chin up. This is Putin saying, I have dirt on you. I have the upper hand on you. It looks like he will move forward to publicize what he knows. Not all of it, but just enough to be embarrassing and career ending, because this is the card for publicizing it. It will create a big stir and drag 47 down even deeper than he's already been dragged down. So yes, I do think that. I think that Trump, in the meantime, will do everything he can to bribe Putin to not do it. But he's sunk. A lot of this stuff will come out, and it will come out courtesy of Russia, yes. Thank you. Is same-sex marriage in danger of being overturned? Yes. Yes. I mean, yes. Yes. I don't even need to look at the card, but let me look at the cards, just because, you don't want my opinion. Coffin, sun, ship. If they can get rid of it, they will get rid of it, yes. This is clear as day. They say the sun is the best card in the deck. Here, it's not that it's a great card. It's just very clear that they will move forward to get rid of same-sex marriage. That's why they're saying if you are in a same-sex relationship and you're not married yet, and you are stalling or, whatever, if you have a reason to marry, maybe hurry up and do it before you can't do it, because it won't be, everybody who will have been married already will be grandfathered in. So it's not like your marriage will be illegal. It's just that moving forward, couples will not be able to marry. Thank you for all your kind words. This is a good question, Wild Rose, but you just, everybody wants to skip to the happily ever after page. I have to practice because I'm going to be reading stories to my grandson, am I not? And you get to the end and they live happily ever after. So Wild Rose, her question is very much of a happily ever after question. I will look at it, but I'm just saying, we got a ways to go. After the felon is gone and a Democrat becomes president, will the student loan system be fixed, including loan forgiveness? I will say that, Pluto in Aquarius means that everything that we know will change. Everything as we know it. Banking, the way we work, the way students are educated, everything that we think is sort of set in stone as an institution is going to morph into something very different moving forward in years to come. But your question is about the loan system. When a Democrat is president, will the student loan situation be fixed? Let's see. We have Crossroads, the Lily, and the Garden. Yes. Crossroads, things will be done in a new way. That's what I said. Instead of doing it that way, we'll do it the other way. So yes, there will be some sort of fix that will bring people a lot of peace. I mean, there are people in middle age who still haven't paid their loans off because it's ridiculous. And the Garden, this is the people will demand it. So when we think about, what kind of planks the Democrats will have in their presidential platforms, we need to insist that fixing this student loan situation needs to be part of that. Just like socialized medicine, maybe. Well, and you may disagree, but I'm just saying our health system is another thing that's going to undergo drastic transformation, and I think we will go towards a socialized system. Let's see. Will California get divided into 2 states? No. No. Okay, recently, this is Shania Eskridge. Recently, schools have been sending home letters to high schoolers asking parents for their child's data for military purposes. Are they going to force our children to serve in the military or draft? I mean, if it's 47 and Vance, the answer is yes. Yes. But God willing and the creek don't rise, as Milo's great-grandmother would have said. Hopefully it won't come to that because we won't have you-know-who there. So we have the house, the tree, and the ring. I think that what may happen regardless is that there will be some sort of service requirement. Not necessarily the military, but some sort of service requirement. Like, like we have the Peace Corps or Vista and that kind of thing. But if 47 and his ilk stay, yeah, I think they'll end up being a draft. Why else would they want that information? Why else would they want that information? And I don't think it would be for women because remember, Hegseth doesn't even want women in the military. But, you know, my grandson is a boy. I'm just saying he's not going in anybody's military. Okay. Yes, I talked about guns and I don't see any relief in sight. We are too wedded to the idea of the Second Amendment. It's archaic and it's barbaric, but I don't think it'll change. All right. Anything else? We don't know what was thrown out the window. It was paper. I don't know. Is there anything going to happen with the military going into Venezuela's waters? Let's see. And I think this will be the last one. Anything going to happen with the military going into Venezuela's waters? Well, don't love this. The young man, the garden. In the center, we have the cross. Don't like that there. And followed by another card, I don't love, the snake. And then the dog. I think that there could be some sort of, mixing it up, we'll call it. I mean, I'm not going to say war. We have this card mirroring this card in the end. I think it'll end up being a tempest in a teapot, but also a distraction because 47 loves distractions. This, again, it will distract people. It will worry them. You know, nobody wants a war with anybody. It will create, you know, pain. But I think in the end, it'll die down. I don't think it'll amount to anything bigger than that. I'm just gonna look and see. Peter Thiel, can Peter Thiel be stopped? Well, I mean, I hope to God he can be. I mean, right? Yeah, I think it's really important that we phrase questions the right way. So if we say, can Peter Thiel be stopped? There's sort of an implication that maybe he can't be. But if we say, how can Peter Thiel be stopped? That leaves an opening for the presumption that he can be, and I think that's important. So how can Peter Thiel be stopped? I like these cards. We have the stork, we have the ring, the key is in the middle, so I love that. The young man and the tree. I think that in time, Peter Thiel will be stopped. I don't think 47 will last forever. I don't think Vance will last very long at all. And I think we will move. I pulled cards, 3 clarifiers on this key. I think we will move from this dark night that we have found ourselves in into a future that is much brighter. And I think that Thiel and the tech bros and all of that will end up being stopped in their tracks. I don't think, though, that I would say the same thing about, for example, AI. We're going to have to find a way to live with AI and to have AI work for us as opposed to AI working us, if you get my drift. But I think that this is, it's important that the Democrats win. It's important that the Democrats grow a spine. It's important that the Democrats let young people lead and that they have a platform that is, you know, that is generative and future looking, and that they not worry about being woke. Because what's wrong with being woke? What's the opposite? Being comatose, like I think 47 probably is. All right, anyway, I'm gonna go. That's enough of that. But thank you all so much for coming. This was fun. Maybe I'll make it a weekly thing. I'll maybe change up the time, but and or the day or something. But this was a lot of fun. Thank you all for keeping me company. Thank you for all the congratulations on my grandson Milo. And I will see you when? What's today? I'll see you Wednesday. And it'll be the regular format. Okay, take care, everybody.